Nick, do you want to introduce us again?
Yeah, I would love to. Are we live? We're live. 24.2 coming at you. I hope your hamstrings and butts have recovered because we're using them again. So we are back with another breakdown. We're hoping you guys had a great week one. I know we did. We all hit the workout. Shane, update us on that time.
On my time?
Yes.
So good news. I did complete it before 14:59. I am substantially fitter than I thought. I don't know if
Just tell them. You did great.
Well,
let's be honest here.
I did amazing considering my build-up, but we're not here for 24.1. But new topic. Do we like...
I'm glad we're moving on because I was not prepared to publicly, even though it's on the leaderboard right now, your guess for what you thought your time was going to be.
Yeah.
You accidentally was predicting my time for what I was going
That's
to.
why we don't talk about times. It's all about you.
What about the Iron Hog? Do we love it?
The Iron Hog.
Iron
So that's
Hog.
a new,
I support
leave us a
that.
comment if you guys like that name. We may stick with it. I
love
think
it.
Brandon, next video, let's just go with that for his name title from now on.
I think I love it.
Okay.
So that's
Jump
a good
into
transition,
Yep,
yeah.
jump into it. We just watched them.
Touched it.
We just watched them live. So we saw Colton and Justin throw down in the shred shed, which was fun. It's a good atmosphere. Colton's been excited about that for a long time, so I think he got another chance to travel. He did a great job. He did get beat by Justin, and we've got a lot of data we can go on for that. So if we want to jump into that, let's just do a broad outline of what we think the workout is.
Yeah, so what we just saw with the gentleman at the shred shed, it's a gas pedal workout still for them, like it was in week one as it is in week two. It's just the pacing slightly different, but this is still, you could see the transitions being pushed. The row paces were not casually. We're talking it's just a little under like what your 5K pace would be when you hop on that rower, and you could see them sitting in that 143 early, and it kind of settled in to that 154, 156 pace. So it's, or 144, 146 pace. So it's nothing, it's not a casual stroll for those guys, and ended up split times for Colton coming through, average around a 155 per round. And that's with a little bit of a trip up and a jump rope tangle in the middle. So this is still a gas pedal workout for those elites of elites.
Yeah, and I like what Jared just said there. Like the first week was all go, but you'll settle into your pace quite easily. I found mine pretty fast too. And then this week's the same thing, but obviously stretched over 20 minutes, and you got to find out what that groove or what that feels like for you. And I think the big separator, I think when we look at it broadly from a time domain or time, when we split down each movement, it would come down to the row, right? Like for these elite guys, or at least for our top end guys, we'll see that the deadlifts will not be a challenge or a problem for them. Double unders for the most part, if executed well, should be, or at least with the intent to do it unbroken. And it's just the row at that point of, can I sustain this? Is this a good pace or however that looks? And I guess a little bit of that is a transition, because each round and how they set it up, that was about a 3-4 second transition to get back onto the rower strapped in and underway. So for me, the further a separation can happen on the rower. I think transitions is a big play here. Maybe even the location of your equipment will be important on that too.
I think no floor plans, so we can really set up as tight as we want, which is really cool that we've never been able to do in the last few years. I think even if Justin and Colton did this again, they would probably find a better way to set that up, because they did have that longer transition. So when you guys are at home, whether you're doing foundations movement of this or you're doing it RX, set up very tight and have a good person with you that can reset your rower. Judges can do that, so keep that in mind. Just to make sure that you're moving quickly back and forth between movements.
Yeah, and I think, so we got to see two gentlemen do this. For the ladies, they're going to be doing this workout, and we can kind of use the guys as a bit of a rough idea of how that's going to look for the ladies. You can probably add about 10 seconds per 500 on that row pace over the course of the entire workout. The guys are probably going to do get that rowing done about a minute more time on the rower that the females are going to spend over the course of this workout.
Yep.
So we saw them go into that 11th round. I think it's going to be just like, if you as a female can finish that 10th round, you're going to be finding yourself really, really high up at the top of that leaderboard. But that still pacing strategy still holds. Like just under your 5K is about what you're looking to hit there.
And for a level 2 and level 1, where do you think they'll be?
Yeah, so for them it's going to be different. It becomes a lot more of a a paced cyclical workout for them. And the rest of the workout's going to be approached differently as well. The deadlift should be broken early and often, even in the first round. If you're intelligent breaking on a deadlift, it can almost be non-existent because you just drop, you follow it to the ground. And I would really, really highly recommend for the level 2 and level 1s to break those deadlifts early to save that back because we have a lot of repeat
Level 2 and level 1, who are they for again? Just to remind everyone.
Yeah, guys. So level 2 is going to be your athletes that may be looking at the semifinals one day, but they're still getting used to the quarterfinal level workouts. Level 1, you may be looking at foundations, but we're hoping you're getting into the more RX level of workouts, but you don't have all the skills yet. So real quick, let's talk about 2 different athletes in this one. Let's say we've got a tall athlete who's really good at rowing, and we've got a shorter athlete. Because, I mean, I wouldn't call Justin short, but he is on the shorter side with Colton in that one. What would you say between those two to kind of make the most of the workout when it comes to these movements?
Yeah, the taller athlete is going to enjoy sitting on the row in this one. They're actually going to be able to expend a little less energy on the row to be able to recover there, which could allow them with a longer range motion on the deadlift and a little bit longer of a rope on the jump rope to kind of lean in there. So when I do this tomorrow, that's going to kind of be my strategy. I'm going to get on the row as quickly as I can and just kind of settle in and recover because my recovery pace should pull at a decent pace where I'm going there. But then my focus point in this workout for sure is going to be the deadlifts for me and making sure that I manage that low back fatigue.
Yeah, perfect. I think all I want to add on there too, right now, looking at the notes further down where the on the scorecard, so they say no gymnastics grips. Athletes can have assistance from their judge, but that's only for the rower. Yep, just for the rower.
Yep.
And at the 20 minutes, if you are on the rower, the rollover meters count.
It's usually cheating, but this time we're counting them.
That's how they did in quarterfinals last year too.
Yeah. Really? I mean, a quarterfinals maybe,
coaches,
but
we always count it.
Come on, there's that coach rule.
I think another thing on that too, though, is make sure you get to 300 before you get off the rower.
Oh, yeah.
They've docked people for that in the past. I think another one is bouncing the deadlifts. I think a lot of video reviews will get caught on that. It is a lighter-ish, not for us, but it is a lighter-ish deadlift, so it's easy to kind of ride that down really quick and let your elbows get soft, so watch out for that.
And it's a really good point just to talk about standards and holding proper standards in these workouts as it is. Deadlifts is one, the bounce is one, the open up to extension is another one. It's really, really easy to not open up those hips all the way, just like when we do air squats where people don't always open up those hips all the way. Do the standards the way they're supposed to be done, and if you are someone who's really trying to push this thing deep into the season, getting good at your video reviews and being able to have these things clean and polished and be something that you're proud to put out to the world, do the standard. The standard is there for a reason. Take it seriously.
Pro tip of the workout, I would say try to start your double unders with a double under, right, instead of a single. Because I think if you guys go watch this and there's people that do start with a single, they lose a lot of time over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So if that's something you've never done, maybe play around with it. Don't try to make too many changes right away, but that will make a big difference.
And just the small, minute things that add up over the course. So you're doing 3 transitions basically around over the course of 20 minutes, over the course of 8 to 10 rounds. If you take an extra 2 seconds per transition than you really need to, you're adding a ton of time onto the back end. So just simply being really dialed with those transitions can shave off 30 seconds of time on that workout without any extra fitness needed.
Yeah, maybe sprint starting the row too. I mean, you talk about that all the time. That may be something that every time you get on that rower, it helps.
Just get to move. And I think mine, just to piggyback off that, is just straps on the rower. Just set yourself up for success in the next round. Have them set, like when you take your feet out, have them set up so that when you can just slide your feet back in, right? You don't want to be dancing around trying to get your feet in there because those 2 seconds matter across the old 10 rounds there.
And you probably don't need chalk here, Colton. We saw him chalk at the end.
Going to the last row. But in his defense and in all of our defense, like you can chalk for anything.
We can chalk. If you're trying to make the games, you probably shouldn't be chalking in this one. But they were in a small space. We'll give it to him. It was probably sweaty in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I love that.
So let's talk about real quick athlete predictions for our athletes again. I think we did pretty well last week. We called Colton with the win. How are we feeling about the ladies that we'll throw down tomorrow?
This is going to be good. And I think we said it last week with the 2 SIDs having very close scores, and there was a really good run. I think the 2 SIDs this week, again, are going to have a very, very fun time.
That'd be a good throwdown.
Running this thing together again. It lines up pretty well for both of them, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. And then
I think this would be good for Luis. This is something that would, on the off season, that has been a big importance for us.
Big tester for him.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I think I think we're seeing a new Luis this year too. So I'm excited for him to showcase and show us what he's
I
been
think you'll
working
see a lot
on.
of growth in this one because this is
Yeah.
something typically where at minute 8 he may just die.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think he'll do a great job on this.
He looks like a man on a mission this year.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Cool. I think just like last week, guys, all of our warm-ups, our strategies,
Yep.
everything that you guys need will be on our social media. If you are a member of Prvn on Beyond the Whiteboard or Train Heroic, there's even more tips from Coach Tim Paulson on there. Those will be up within the next 30, 40 minutes. So we're on top of it for you guys. If you've got questions at all, leave a comment below. DM any of us. We're excited for this. Good luck on 24.2.